of tiles in particular bases. They're also testing those artifacts. We can see there just above the shipwreck disconnect, which is also going to be something to keep an eye out on. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how ship 38 holds up with those bigger patches of tiles missing. All of the testing, I would say this thing is a bit funky with stainless steel that's been built in side Texas in the south. It's the self-powered Stargates that just make them so resilient being broken.
All right. I'm gonna start the live stream already started. I'm gonna close. I don't know if they're loading fuel yet. Let me see. Let me see.
You know how every time we're in lunch and they're playing Uno, Paul is always like 2 minutes.
Yeah. It look like they're starting to load a little bit of fuel, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Still says nobody's on the live stream. For some reason, my phone's acting like it was live streamed 2 months ago.
Dang.
Okay. Apparently, live stream's supposed to start in like 5 minutes. I don't think anybody's on the live stream yet, though. For anybody watching this after this live stream is recorded, currently I'm on the phone with the other kid on this YouTube channel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the phone with the other person on the live stream or on the YouTube channel. Yep, 5 minutes ish until the actual. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so there's probably about like a few second delay. Okay, I can watch the live stream.
What?
I can watch the live stream from my old account. Well, I know the audio works because it just showed up on my phone. Are you watching the live stream?
My pieces were filled.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, only like 3 minutes away from the SpaceX stream starting, apparently. Looks like fuel on the ship. No. Alright. Got the Lab Padre live stream up and running. Just so I can see what's going on for the next like 2 minutes until the Starship stream starts. Yeah, it looks like a lot of fuel's getting loaded onto the vehicle. Whoa. Yeah, it looks like there's quite a bit of fuel loaded. About 30 minutes now. Live stream starting in 1 minute. For SpaceX. Alright. I'm just gonna full screen the SpaceX live stream. Should be starting any second now. I don't know, I'll see you when this thing starts. Got my little Pez dispenser loaded up with 8 Pez candy things to simulate the satellites. Well, dummy satellites. Pretty cool. Right?
Yep.
Wait, Roy, I just found the part of the rocket launcher from Raptor Jockey.
Found the what?
Part of the rocket launcher guys from Raptor Jockey.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Launch. An interesting show.
All right, I'm back. It's weird. Still hasn't started yet.
It's a very interesting show.
It started. I'm actually gonna mute the SpaceX live stream because there's music. It's probably gonna get me copyrighted. But currently, there's only 54,000 people watching the SpaceX live stream. And you realize that's 54,000 people that are just watching the SpaceX logo on a background stock image of, or stock footage of Mars. I believe it's like a 3D animation that they have. But right now, oh no, it's 67,000. Of course it upgraded. Of course it updated to 67,000. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Okay, at least it increased up to 79,000. It's starting. The live stream's starting. Is there still music? Let me see if there's still music, because if there's still music, then I can't play it. Ooh, nice view inside. Start or something. Yeah, that's... Yeah, there's still some music, but I don't think they really care.
Alright, all operators on count to 1.
Wow.
Flight directors go for that.
Yeah, we'll definitely put it, but still good stuff. For Flight 7 or maybe Flight 8. I'm not sure. They got the live
Hello,
stream,
everyone, and welcome to
28
Starbase, Texas for the 11th flight test of the world's largest and most powerful reusable rocket, Starship. Today's flight marks our second reuse of a Super Heavy booster and what's expected to be the final launch of our second-generation vehicle. I'm Amanda Lee, a build reliability engineer here at SpaceX.
And I'm Jake Berkowitz, a lead propulsion engineer.
Yeah, they got a
on
new
our
guy on the
SpaceX
live
Raptor
stream. I don't
team.
think I've ever seen
Today we're coming to you live
Jake
from Star
on the
Factory,
live stream.
just under 2 miles away from the rocket on the pad.
Yeah, there's a guy
Right
named
outside
Jake.
on the lawn, the crowd
I've
is
never
starting to
seen him
gather.
before.
And after liftoff, we
Or
expect
maybe
that crowd to head
he's
back
been on
in
them
to
before
watch
and
the
I
rest
just
of the
haven't
launch
seen
with us
them.
and have a party.
So I don't watch every
And right
single
behind us
SpaceX
are
live
3
stream.
generations
I
of
only watch the
Raptor
Starship
engines,
ones
the
and then
third
the
of which
occasional
we're looking to
Falcon 91.
debut on the next generation of Starship. And we'll
Because
talk
I
a
do
little
other
bit more
things
about
than
that
just
upgraded
constantly watch
rocket later in the
SpaceX live
program.
streams.
Yeah, and if you watch Flight 10, you'll know it was
Obviously
a really,
Starship ones and
really
then like
good day for
important
Starship.
Falcon 9 missions
All
I'll watch.
objectives were met,
But if
and
it's
we
just
got
some random
tons of
Starlink
great
mission, I'm
data
not
to
gonna
learn
watch
from.
it.
And today, we're looking to build on the success of that flight.
Yeah, that's right. Like in Flight 10, we're again planning to deploy Starlink simulator satellites as well as test the
Alright.
limits of
Well,
ship's
they got
heat shield
venting.
during re-entry.
I
A
believe
controlled
that's
descent,
engine
flip
chill
maneuver,
vent on
and
the
soft splash in the Indian
ship.
Ocean are also planned for ship.
Which would
And
look like they
hopefully our
didn't
recovery
change
team
the
will be able to deliver
placement
some
of
more of
it,
those
which is a
amazing
little
views
weird
that we
because
got back on
they
Flight 10.
literally.
Yeah, those views are just awesome. Another
I don't
crazy
know.
thing, and for those of you keeping track, today
I got
actually
footage
marks
of
the
Booster
1-year
15 landing up
anniversary
on the
of our
screen now.
historic first ever booster catch.
Which Booster
That was
15 is getting
Booster
reused
12.
on this one, so
And even though we're not attempting a catch today,
interesting. But it's
every
not
time
going to
we launch a
land,
Starship,
sadly.
it's a big
They're
day.
just going to
All right, so everyone, buckle
make
up
it
because
hover over the
maximum
ocean and then
excitement
just
is
let it fall
guaranteed.
into the ocean.
All right.
And
Hey,
Dan
guy-
Hewitt joins
Dan's
us from over
there.
here, Mission
Dan.
Control. Dan, how are things looking for launch today?
Hey, Jake. Hey, Amanda. Hey, everybody. We are looking great. I'm Dan Hewitt with SpaceX Communications. That's right. Right behind me is our Launch Control Center here at Starbase. Flight control team is on there. They're getting Starship and Super Heavy ready for liftoff. So, as you can tell, when we look at the vehicle, prop load is
Dan's
underway.
on the live
Things are looking
stream.
good.
If you
We
don't know
did
who
shift
Dan
our
is,
T0 a little bit. We're tracking to
he's
6:23
Dan.
p.m. Central Time,
He's
just a
Dan.
couple minutes into our window.
Um,
All right, so as we noted, back in August, Flight 10, it did all the things. Did all the things we wanted it to do.
it already
Started
is
off
up
with
to
Super Heavy, those 32 Raptor
157,000
engines
viewers.
igniting, lifting off right
on
at
the,
the top of
um,
its window at 6:30 p.m.
not my live
Central
stream, but
Time.
the SpaceX live stream.
It was able to do a successful ascent, followed that up with
Like,
hot staging.
to consider
Starship's
that
upper
just a few
stage
minutes
igniting
ago,
those 6 Raptor
it was
engines,
at
separating Super Heavy, making its way
67,000
back
views,
down. We saw the
or viewers.
hot stage pop off. It then completed its
Yeah.
boost back burn. Put it on the course towards that splashdown zone.
they got some
It
nice footage.
successfully did that landing
I'm gonna
burn when
listen
we
in, 'cause I haven't
intentionally
been.
disabled one of those 3 center engines. During the final phase of that, used a backup engine, entered into its final hover, shut down the engines, and then splashed down into the water. Ship, meanwhile, completed full duration ascent burn, got to its planned velocity,
Hope we get to see this
successfully
again
put
today.
it on that suborbital trajectory. And then it was on to the in-space stuff. That first in-space objective was completed. 8 of those Starlink simulators were deployed. That was the first successful payload demonstration we've ever had from Starship. Each of these simulators, similar in size to the V3 Starlinks that we're going to be launching next year to add significant capacity and capability to the network. Then it was on to our second ever in-space relight of a Raptor engine. That's a key capability for when we're going to do deorbit burns on future orbital missions, and then when we're doing deep space maneuvers. Then on to the critical reentry phase, we're able to get data on the performance of that heat shield, the ship structure, push the envelope on it, using the flaps, got it down to the splashdown zone, did the landing flip, did the landing burn. Killer views from the recovery team, soft splashdown over in the Indian Ocean. We were just about 3 meters off of our target, so pretty much nailed it. It was a huge day, tons of excitement here at Starbase. Just a reminder, though, this is still the early days. I mean, we're on Flight 11 today. There's a lot more we're going to do to get full reusability, increase our launch cadence, eventually start sending missions to the Moon and Mars. I mean, we've got thousands of launches to come. But for now, we're looking good for
Hey,
launch.
Roy, you
Toss it
watching
back
live
down
stream
to
right now?
Amanda and Jake.
Awesome. Thank you, Dan. Starship is the first orbital launch
you still
vehicle
working on the
engineered
Lego
to be
thing?
fully reusable, just like a commercial airliner.
Okay.
In fact, to the end, we're actually reflying a Super Heavy booster for the second time today. This booster
Okay.
last flew on Flight 8. So
Yeah,
let's
check
just
out
start
the
with
live
how
stream
powerful
on
this rocket really
YouTube.
is.
Just look
When
up
you
the
stack
channel.
Starship up against
and
one of the
then you
world's
should be
biggest
able to see it.
airplanes, the 747, a
No,
single Raptor engine is actually double the thrust of
the
all
one I'm
4
doing.
airplane engines put together. So that means the Super Heavy over on the pad right now, with its 33 Raptors, is equal to the power of about 64
No, my live
747s.
stream that I'm running
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
just crazy, Amanda. The power this rocket generates is incredible. To be
No.
specific, it's over 16.7
Wow.
million pounds
That,
of
they
thrust.
quickly filled this
Numbers
thing though.
Almost
like just a
incomprehensible,
few
but
minutes
it's
ago,
just crazy.
The Super
All right,
Heavy
to break
was
it down,
barely
Starship is
being
made
filled
of
up,
2
and now
parts.
it's
First is the Super
about
Heavy
a
booster,
third
which
filled
is
up.
powered by 33 of those Raptor engines that run on liquid methane and liquid oxygen. And second is the
Did you
Starship
find it?
upper stage, powered by 6 Raptor
Okay.
engines. 3 are optimized for sea level performance, and 3
Try
are
to
for
say something
vacuum
in chat.
performance with that larger nozzle extension. All right, it's the Starship's second stage that will one day carry
it just showed that
cargo,
you're
payloads, and people all the way to Mars and beyond.
The Super Heavy booster is designed to launch, separate, flip, and return to the launch site where it can be caught by the chopsticks on the launch tower. However, as previously noted, we won't be attempting one of those catches today. Starship, on the other hand, re-enters the Earth's atmosphere at the conclusion of its mission, steering itself to a vertical landing or catch. And both stages are designed to return to Earth and fly again, making this the first rocket in history that will be fully reusable.
Yeah, and we cannot forget that between the two vehicles is the hot stage ring, a structure made of steel that allows the ship's engines to ignite while still attached to the booster, enabling a faster and more efficient stage separation. Right now, that hot stage ring is single use, but in the future, it will be built in directly to the V3 booster forward end.
And finally, the infrastructure built to support referred to as Stage 0. This includes the launch pads, tank farm,
And
and
so
the
far
launch
the
towers
fueling
which
is
hold the
looking pretty
chopsticks
good.
that
They
catch the
got-
Super Heavy booster.
Man,
and
they're already
eventually
almost
will also
halfway
catch
done
the
with the
ship.
booster.
Yeah, and to get us ready for
It's
launch
only been, like,
today,
a few
we
minutes.
recently conducted another static test fire, basically where we fire up the engines to mimic a launch without actually launching. You're seeing the booster on the screen right now. It's a crucial milestone to let us know we're ready to go. And then here we're seeing ship. We did this for the second time on a retrofitted mount on pad 1. We had a full 9-second duration burn on all 6 engines.
We should also note that today's launch on Pad 1 is intended to be the last launch on this pad in this configuration. As we head into the next generation Starship flight test program, we'll be modifying Pad 1 to meet the demands of our future missions.
Yeah, and among many other things, we're installing a new orbital launch mount, a new flame trench system, and upgrading the chopsticks for future catches. So until that's complete, we'll be running operations from Pad 2, which will be coming online very soon. All right, let's go over to Hawthorne, where Tyler is ready to talk a little Starlink.
Thank you, Jake and Amanda. My name is Tyler Lionquist, and I'm a Starlink business analyst here at SpaceX. Starlink is SpaceX's low Earth orbit, high-speed internet that's bringing connectivity both on Earth and in space. So, Starship is outfitted again today with 4 Starlink terminals, powering those incredible live shots of ship in orbit, through re-entry, and then all the way down to splashdown in the Indian Ocean. Now, we've had a couple of recent milestones that are worth celebrating. Back in September,
there's a
we
camera
launched
angle they haven't
Starlink for
shown
its
us.
300th
I think it's
time.
on the booster.
And this summer, we surpassed 7
Looking up
million
at the
active
ship.
customers, with service available across
But
150
they mostly
countries
show
and
the,
territories. We've come a really long way since turning on service for our first
The
paying
drones
customer in
that
rural
look at it
Idaho
during
5
the-
years ago, back in October of 2020.
the pre-launch, whatever. Oh, I think there's music here, I think. I'll just mute that.
Technology.
The minute they turned it on, we could stream.
Yeah, there was music in the live stream, so I had to mute it. So it doesn't get copyright strike. Are you still on the live stream? Could you go to the live chat and say something? Okay. Nice one. Yeah, guys, anybody who's tuning in, if you look in the chat, there's a guy, that just said poop. Anyways, go check out his channel. He does collaboration stuff with us. He's the other kid in all of our YouTube shorts. Huh? Oh, it's just me. But in the future, people could like rewatch it. And I think the music is
Falcon
done,
9.
so I'm just gonna.
And then on the cellular front, last month, SpaceX
Unmute
announced a
audio
deal
then.
that provides Starlink with exclusive spectrum for its next generation
Huh?
direct-to-cell satellites, which will be capable of providing broadband service to cell
Probably.
phones globally. Starlink is the largest 4G coverage provider on Earth. Over
Jeez, they're
7
already,
million
like,
people across 5
finished
continents
with
already
fueling on the
rely on
ship.
Starlink to connect their LTE phones to
At least
data,
on the methane
voice,
tank.
video, and
Not sure
messaging,
about the other
where
tank.
terrestrial service is unavailable. So we're excited to have the opportunity to help close those coverage gaps and ultimately
Alright,
eliminate
you see
mobile
that
dead
little
zones
thing,
around
the
the world.
little, like,
So yeah, there's a lot
like,
happening with Starlink,
frozen
and
part
there's a
of
lot more
the
to come.
ship?
So let's head back to Amanda and Jake at Starbase to take us through
Yeah,
today's
like at the
flight
bottom,
profile.
you see how it's like almost
Thank you so much,
frozen?
Tyler. So today's float profile, we're looking to get our second re-entry with this iteration of ship.
No, I think it.
And prior
went
to
away.
every launch, we work
You can go
closely
back.
with the
No, I
FAA
don't think I
and
can.
international
Yeah, I
air
can't.
traffic
But,
organizations to efficiently and safely integrate launch and re-entry operations into the airspace.
That basically shows the fuel level.
And we've got a special guest
Visitor
here.
today.
There's
We're live.
What's up, guys?
How's it going? Good to see you, boss.
Hi.
Hey. How's the webcam?
Good. We're live right now.
What the?
Yeah. Getting ready for Flight
Wanna say
11. How are you feeling for it?
Yeah, this
Good,
guy showed up.
This is the first time that I'm going to be actually outside standing and watching the rocket. Because normally I'm in mission control and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
But now I'll be standing out in the garden there.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
it's really going to be much more visceral.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna feel
Great
it.
place
It's
to
gonna be.
watch.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be awesome.
When it's filtering?
We'll be in here this time, but usually we're out there watching. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. All
Good
right,
luck
Later.
and have fun.
Have fun.
All right. So that was an exciting cameo there. But yeah, starting with liftoff.
And now he's gone.
We'll get into the flight profile here. Super Heavy will ignite 33 engines, 24 of which are flight
Oh,
proven
like just
today.
flight
We'll power
profile.
through ascent ahead of hot stage separation, where booster will shut down all but 3
Ascent?
engines. Stage 2 lights as Raptor engines
Yeah,
while
we
still
know that.
attached to Super
Stage
Heavy.
separation.
That is what we call
They've been
hot
doing
stage
that for
separation. We'll see a directional
years
booster
now,
flip and
I
engine
think.
relight for boost back.
Almost.
And we'll be intentionally headed to a splashdown in the Gulf with a V3 style
One.
landing burn demonstration today.
It would be.
Meanwhile, ship will
Second
continue with
anniversary of Flight
its
2.
ascent burn to a suborbital trajectory,
Satellites are
where it will attempt to deploy
deployed,
8
engine
Starlink
relay,
simulator
and then
satellites. And we're also planning to relay a single Raptor
Re-entry.
engine. Then it's time for re-entry, where we're once again
then
testing the limits of Starship's heat shield by
belly flop,
intentionally removing tiles. The ship will
landing.
also perform a pretty dynamic banking maneuver that mimics the path of a return to launch site for Ketch that will fly on a future mission. And if all that goes as planned, we'll conclude the test with a landing flip, burn,
Kinda
and
crazy
soft
that they're
water
able to, like,
splashdown
just
in the Indian
normalize
Ocean.
crazy
So
things,
definitely
like
another action-packed flight profile, Dan.
catching the booster with a pair of like robotic
It's planned
arms.
to be the final launch of
Over
this
top
version of
straight and then,
Starship, version number 2. Right now, we're actively
doing, like, the
building multiple
weirdest
next-generation
landing
V3 Starship and Super Heavy
profile
vehicles
ever,
in the
which is the,
factory,
the
kind of
belly
right behind
flop
us. So
landing.
let's take a minute and nerd out a little bit.
Which is kind
All
of,
right.
it's like a
We're
weird,
going to be
like,
launching from
mix
Pad 2,
between
which is nearing completion
like,
down here at Starbase. Both the
one of those
pad and the
people in, like, a
vehicles are going to
squirrel
roll in
suit
really
almost would
significant
land,
changes. This is
and they
building
got
on
their
everything
arms
we've
out and
learned from
stuff,
all of these flight
and then,
tests
like,
to make a vehicle that we're looking to
like
mass
a-
produce. Starting with the Starship upper
it's
stage,
weird.
which is going to look pretty similar on the outside, but it's getting pretty
like
much
a
a complete
skydiver.
overhaul
It's kind
under
of like
the
a
hood.
skydiver, except
We're getting major design
he doesn't have
changes
a
to its
parachute,
propulsion
he just
system
kinda,
that's
like-
going to accommodate that new version of Raptor, which puts
he
out
just
higher
has like
thrust.
rocket boots
We're
on
also
or
getting
something.
an
It's like
energy
if a
storage
skydiver,
upgrades,
instead
tons
of
of
using a
avionics
parachute, just had
changes,
rocket boots.
a lot of
That's
things
how the
that will
Starship
enable
lands.
longer duration missions. One notable thing you'll start seeing the outside
Unless
of
there's
these
the
new docking
chopsticks, then it
adapters,
just
which we'll
does
use when we
a
bring
weird
2
flip in the
Starships
air and
together
then
for propellant
The
transfer.
chopsticks catch it out of the air.
That's a core capability of Starship that we're going to demonstrate next year. Bottom line, though, this is the
Why does this
Starship we're
part look
planning
so
to use for
weird?
all of our next major milestones: orbital missions, return to launch site and catch, reuse, propellant transfer, and then
It's two
making our way to
starships
the moon and
docking
Mars.
together so that they can
Now, super
transfer
heavy.
fuel.
We've shown some of this off. Some of
Ooh.
this hardware already coming out of the
They're showing us
factory.
the
It has upgrades like
transfer
this, a
tube.
redesigned fuel transfer
cool.
tube. That thing's roughly the same
Yeah,
size
look
as the
inside
first stage of a Falcon
the
9
Mega Bay.
rocket. That channels all that cryogenic fuel down to Super
Mega Bay
Heavy's
1.
33 engines. We made it bigger.
American
Basically, a
flag.
rocket inside
It'll
of a
show up in a
rocket
few
that
seconds,
gives
Roy.
us a faster,
The
more reliable
American
flip
flag.
and simultaneous engine startup. New booster also going to have an integrated
Mercury.
hot stage, a lot more vent area, and it's designed to be fully reusable. Pressure from those
Yeah.
engine plumes gets vented
Insert
out,
the,
mostly offset just by the pressure in the fuel tank.
the
That is the top of
national
the fuel
anthem
tank.
bass boost.
And then we add a
Ooh, that's a cool view.
non-structural layer of steel on the top
showing
that
off
helps
the-
take all the heating. It's mapped to where all the high heating
dome
goes.
of the
Grid fins also getting a big change, going from
first
4
stage.
down to 3.
And that
They're
grid fin.
50% larger, though, much higher
That grid fin
strength.
looks nice.
They're
You'll
also
see
going
that
to get
pop on-
used
yeah.
for vehicle
I think it
lift
looks like a
and
waffle.
catch.
That's
That's
the
all
grid
made
fin.
possible. There's a new catch point addition on those grid fins. We've also kind of
Yeah, I
reclocked
think
their
it looks like a
position on the
waffle.
booster that aligns them with the catch arms. Yeah, we got it right in the middle there. All right, and then powering it all,
Whoa.
Raptor 3. Looks
We're
radically
showing
different,
Raptor
just
3
straight
as
up
well.
radical. Tons of major changes. It's coming in higher thrust, dramatic
Man, that's
reduction in
crazy.
parts.
Raptor
Tons
3
of
looks
control
so
mechanisms
simple.
moved inside. Our McGregor team's built some
Gimbal
additional stands like
test
this
and
one,
everything.
which essentially is the bottom of a super heavy booster. Lets us do gimbal or
cool.
steering tests. So that's been really exciting
Yeah,
to
they got the
see.
gimbal
We've also
test
been getting
going.
vacuum versions of Raptor
Vacuum-
3
is that
into
Raptor
test.
3
The first
vacuum?
flight engines are already in production and are about to start acceptance testing for Flight 12. So a lot of exciting changes coming, and we're getting ready to mass produce everything, including one of the really key contributors to that rapid reusability, the heat shield tiles. Let's jump over to Tyler real quick in Hawthorne, who's got a really cool look at what's happening with tiles in Florida.
Thank you, Dan.
They love the
Indeed,
heat tiles.
Starship's heat shield
They're
is the
always talking about
linchpin
the
to
heat
full and
tiles.
rapid reusability. We can't launch, land, refuel, and launch again if we have to spend months refurbishing the heat shield after every launch, like they did in the
I don't
space
know,
shuttle
maybe
program.
launch this when they-
So, in a future where Starship is
When they
flying
don't mention
several
the heat
times a
tiles
day,
at least
many,
once.
many thousands of heat shield tiles will be required. So yeah, we need to get cooking on those tiles, which is exactly what's happening inside the fully automated bakery down at the Cape. In just 3 years, tile production at
Oh,
the
that's
bakery
cool.
has surpassed the total
Actually,
number of tiles produced
they got a
during the 30
factory
years
for
of the
'em.
shuttle program. To go from the raw material to a finished tile, it takes about 40
Never
hours.
actually seen this.
And
Oh,
today, the
that
bakery
looks
is
insane.
producing about 1,000 tiles
Look
a
at
day.
it. Looks like some like
But it's set up to produce enough tiles for 10 ships per month,
Some-
which is about 7,000 tiles a day,
It looks like
or a
it'd
tile
be
off the
something
line
worth
every
saying.
13 seconds.
my cow's
So
blue,
yeah,
but
the
my
bakery
neck
is well on its way to
red.
providing Starship with all the tiles for
Been
missions
working
to
like a
Mars
dog just
and
to keep
beyond.
my family
And for today's
fed.
flight, we've made
That's
a
what it looks like.
modification
It
to the
looks
heat
like
shield
something that'll be
tiles.
worth
Dan, do you
saying
mind
that.
filling us in on what's being referred to as the Crunchwrap tile?
Absolutely. I always love to get to do a little show and tell. So we've got thousands of these heat shield tiles covering Starship.
Actually showing off
Now
one of the
they're
heat
kind
tiles
of
on
all
the live
next to
stream.
each other. There's a small gap in between all of them. You got to leave a little bit of space as that metal
cool.
underneath will expand and contract. That way they don't crunch into each other and start breaking. However, that lets some of that plasma kind of seep through, and we see really high heating on the sides and then down on the metal. To help fix that, we have this, the crunch wrap that everyone has heard about.
They're actually
so we
showing off
take
the crunch
essentially
wrap.
that's called Vulcan felt that we then wrap around. And so as these tiles are next to each other, you've got a small bit in between that's going to help offset that heating. It's just one of the ways we're continuing to iterate on this heat shield, getting towards rapid reusability. Hopefully it's going to help Starship live Moss. You know, everything is just going to get us to that end state of a fully and rapidly reusable vehicle. So pretty much the entire vehicle has those on it today. We've done this on multiple Starships previously, but this time pretty much the whole vehicle has it. So that was special for today. All right,
Jeez, we're
enough
less than
heat shield
10
tiles.
minutes
Let's
away from
go
the
quick
launch.
check-in on the
This is
pad.
weird.
So if you did
Yeah.
notice, we did shift our T0
Those 30
just a
minutes
little
flew by
bit.
really
We're now
fast.
counting down to 6:23 and 41 seconds Central Time.
Yeah.
We shifted a little bit as we were working to finish clearing the range. We are
all
monitoring
their stuff
sea and
is scope and
airspace,
launch.
both
That's
here over
good.
the Gulf and in our
Wind is
splashdown
good.
location over on the Indian
it
Ocean.
went up
We
a
were
little.
working with the FAA, a lot of other
But
international agencies
I
to
think
coordinate
wind is
all of
okay.
this. Good news, range is currently green. We're able to get everything out of the way
And they're
that
finished
we were
with fuel
tracking
on
in
the
the Gulf.
ship.
So Weather
much,
status, I don't even
and
really
pretty
need to
soon we'll
do.
be
Not a
finished with
cloud in the
fuel on the
sky.
booster
Beautiful
as
day.
well.
No probability of violation for launch at this point.
Boosters.
We're not currently tracking any
that's great. You
issues on
can
the
see
vehicle
the
or the
fuel
pad. You can
going
see our
up
fill levels are
on the
getting
little
up
graphic
there.
on the side.
We're
You
almost
see that?
completely done with our propellant loading. We've gone through all of our checkouts so far this morning, aligning our guidance, navigation, and control system, getting the vehicles ready for prop load, the farm. Everything's gone pretty smoothly so far. We got through our go, no
Yeah, I can,
go
like,
for
see the
prop
fuel
load. That
going up.
happens at T-minus 1
They're
hour
pretty
and
much done with
15
the ship.
minutes.
They
We've
might
been
as well
loading
finish up
fuel
fueling that, but they're gonna
and
wait.
blocks on board the ship
so they can
since
keep
about 53
supplying
minutes
fuel.
before launch. Booster started just about 10 minutes after that. We continue loading prop until just around 3 minutes before liftoff, and then at that point we'll be ready to go. So bottom line at the moment, we're looking real good. Again, 6:23 and 41 seconds Central Time is our target T0, so we're going to keep counting down.
Sounds like great news so far. Thank you, Dan. And we do say it repeatedly because it's important to understand, but these flight tests are all about the data. Data helps us build and fly faster until we're eventually ready to fly people and cargo at scale to Mars. That is our foundational mission and basically just the major inspiration for our work here every day.
Yeah, that's exactly
But you
right,
know what,
Amanda.
Roy?
And our first missions to the
With
Red
Jake
Planet
on
are
the live
just
stream,
down the
he
road,
looks like a
and
guy
we
named
recently
Jake or
shared some
Jacob.
exciting news. Starship
He
cargo
looks like a
flights
guy
to the
who would be
Martian
named Jake or
surface for
Jacob.
research, development,
saying.
and exploratory missions begin in 2030. And we already have our first customer.
Yeah, exactly. Starship is
Yeah,
open
I'm
for
in Mark
business,
II.
and one of the first payloads will be provided by the Italian Space Agency.
Ooh, I got a new
They recently signed
Mars
a first-of-its-kind agreement to carry
Starship
Italian
thing.
experiments on the initial Starship
Or
missions
maybe
that
they
deliver
showed this
customer
at the
payloads to Mars.
presentation after-
In related
before
news,
flight time.
Starship cargo flights to the surface of
after
the
flight
moon
time.
for research, development, and exploratory missions will start in 2028. So a ton of Starship activity to look forward to, and if you'd like to learn more about our mission to making humanity multiplanetary, go ahead and visit spacex.com/Mars. Okay, now as we get closer to launch, development continues down here at Starbase, Texas, to shape this growing city into a truly unique place to live and work. And part of being a city, particularly one surrounded by nature, is environmental stewardship. The nearby Boca Beach
They're
dunes
actually
have
showing it off.
unfortunately been eroding at an alarming rate for some time, so SpaceX is teaming up with Cameron County and the city of Starbase to stop that erosion and hopefully preserve the beach for years to come.
Yeah, and as one of its first permanent residents and someone who's actually called Starbase home for over 3 years now, I can tell you the beach totally adds to the uniqueness and awesomeness of living here. Starbase is truly unlike any other place on Earth. You know, where else can you see the world's biggest rocket every single day?
Yeah, Starbase is definitely the place to be, and we're always looking for more people to come help build the future of spaceflight.
Yeah, particularly engineers, especially for our propulsion and mechanical system teams.
You could be working
Okay.
on tests just like these ones, proving out the designs of our next generation Super Heavy booster. Fun fact, we actually tested the booster to 13,400 tons of thrust, which is more than the power of 3.5 Saturn V rockets, which is just crazy. We're also looking for civil and structural engineers to help literally build the future.
Whether it's buildings like the Gigabays currently going up at both Starbase and the Cape, each is a massive vertical integration and assembly facility with over 700,000 square feet of workspace. Both sites are currently in progress, actually going vertical as we speak. Or you could be designing the Starship launch sites of the future. There's really no shortage of future to build here. So visit spacex.com/careers to see all of our openings if you're interested.
Okay, now as we head into terminal count, all eyes are on the rocket. Dan, how are we looking? Are we green?
Amanda, we are so green. Everything's still looking really good. So we've got a green range, not tracking any blockers there to launch. We're continuing to load prop on board the vehicle. We're just about to close out, so we'll close out again just about 3 minutes and 20 seconds before liftoff. We'll close out on ship, and then booster just about 30 seconds later. And then you end up with about 11 million pounds of liquid propellant on board those two stages. After we're fully loaded on the vehicle, the pad itself gets ready for launch. We do what's called pushbacks. We clear all that prop out of the lines in the tower and the feed system back into the tanks to get ready for launch. And then in the next couple of minutes, we're going to do our final GNC guidance, navigation, and control system alignment.
Ship
We're going
propellant
to
load
arm
complete
the automatic flight safety
in
system.
about a minute.
And then we're going to do final kind of wiggle checks on the steering for the engines, which we might be able to catch a quick peek at as we get closer to those. If we need to hold, which we are not currently tracking a reason to, that would happen at T-minus 40 seconds. It's built into our countdown. We can pause and wait there for any final checkouts, anything that we need to hold for.
All right, I'm
As we
gonna take a
pass
quick
that
break
T-minus
before
40
the
seconds, a
flight.
number of events will occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition systems come up to flight pressure, and ship switches to internal power. After that, the quick disconnect arm lockout is removed in preparation for retraction shortly after T0. Now, once we pass T-minus 40 seconds, if any problems come up, we do still have the ability to recycle the count under certain conditions back to T-minus 40 seconds and hold there to assess what happened and then see if we can proceed again to liftoff.
Yep, however, once the water for the deflector system begins flowing at T-minus 10 seconds, any issue after that would be an automatic scrub for the day, as teams would need to refill the deflector's water tanks as well as the propellant storage tanks at the tank farm before making another attempt.
All right, I'm back.
All right, we are coming up on 3 minutes
That's a wonderful
away
view.
from launch. You can see the frost line all the way up. We've just closed out prop load onto
Ship
the
finished
ship
out.
booster coming up shortly.
Which is in about 10 seconds.
Yeah, in about 10 seconds, we'll finish loading prop on the booster, and then again, we'll have about 11 million pounds of that liquid oxygen, liquid methane on board the vehicles. Not currently tracking a reason to hold at T-minus 40. It can pop up at the last moment or after we pass that gate. We can always hang out there for a couple of minutes if we need to. We do have some extra time. We're not constantly topping off the propellant in these vehicles, so we have about a 7-8 minute window where we can wait for any final issues to clear. We're not currently tracking a reason to hold there. Again, our range continues to be green as we look at sea and airspace both out over the Gulf
All right, they got
and
about.
in our reentry zone
All right,
out
Roy, you still
in
there?
the Indian Ocean.
All right, we got about 2 minutes.
All right, 2 minutes, 15 seconds to
You
go.
still on the live
A
stream?
lot of things on tap for Flight 11.
right.
Planned to be the last launch of this
Huh?
version of Starship and Super Heavy.
Oh,
Once
really?
again, we're really
Someone else
focused
must have
on
joined.
getting ship over to reentry.
Whoever just joined.
Once we get to that phase,
Whoever
we're going to
just
dive
joined,
in. There's a lot of exciting stuff
talk in
that's
the
going to be
chat, I
happening
guess.
on our way back through
Introduce yourself.
and down to the ground,
Or
hopefully
if not, you
out
can just
in the
like
Indian
the
Ocean.
video at least. Helps us out a lot.
Minute 45. Should hopefully be seeing. There's a quick wiggle check. Checking out the thrust vector control, the steering on the booster. We use those inner 13 engines. Doing their one final dance before the big show.
Geez, 1 minute. 1 minute, Roy, and this thing's launching.
And we'll do that one more time after we cross that T-minus 40 gate. All right, range continues to be green. Still not tracking any issues on vehicle or pad.
All right.
1 minute to go.
Apparently they're go for launch. Well, not well. Kind of.
As a reminder, we can hold at T-minus 40. We're not planning to.
All right. Passed up 40 seconds, I think. Yes,
All
they
right.
passed. They passed
We're
40
through T-minus
seconds. So they're
40.
good.
Let's listen in. Flight Director Ty Huntington back in the seat. Take us through the final
Flight
seconds
directors go
until
for launch.
They're going for launch, Roy. Did you exit? Did you exit? Did you exit the live stream or something? Oh, okay, it's just not counting you for some reason. It's weird. Yeah.
T-minus 10, 9.
They're going.
8, 7.
All right.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Flame
1.
deflector is going. All engines lit. It's moving.
We have liftoff. Go Super Heavy. Go Starship. Thanks for all the historic flights, Pad 1.
They just said thanks for all the historic flights, Pad 1. That's crazy. All right.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
All engines running.
Booster Raptor chamber pressure nominal.
Okay, chamber pressures are nominal. Wonderful plume there. Sunset, same time with 2. Looking pretty normal so far. About 40
Booster
seconds into
ship,
flight.
nominal power and telemetry.
All right, we are about 45 seconds into flight. We're still getting the rattle here at Star Factory. We are seeing 33 out of 33 Raptor engines lit on Super Heavy as it arcs
Okay, this
across
thing's
the
looking
Gulf.
good.
Coming up next on Max Q.
Okay. Looking good. Oh, something might have fell off. Probably just ice. Or maybe heat shield tiles.
Max
All right,
Q.
So at this point, we've passed through that period of maximum aerodynamic
Oh.
pressure. The next thing we're looking forward to
I
is
saw
going to
some
be
tiles
hot staging.
peel off,
So
I think.
we've got 33 out of 33 Raptors lit. Super Heavy
That's not
makes its
that
way
bad. It looked like it
uphill.
was from a
Hot
non-critical
staging
area.
is going to be coming up in just a little over a minute. At that point, we're going to see all but 3 of those Raptor engines on Super
looking
Heavy
good
shut
so
down.
far.
Our version of Miko. Most engines cut off instead of main engine. And then after that, we're going to release the clamps that are currently holding Starship to that hot stage adapter. It's then going to ignite its 6 Raptor engines to push it
Ooh,
away
they got
from
some
Super
blue.
Heavy and then start making its
Look, it's
flight
coming up. Yeah,
uphill.
like right now. There's some blue.
So in about 30
on the
seconds, we're
vehicle.
going to see the engine start to shut down on Super Heavy. You'll see them kind of shut off in separate banks until we've just got those 3
All right,
center
they're
engines
doing
that
the
never
roll
stop
maneuver
running for this
for hot
process.
staging.
And then looking for 6 ship Raptors.
All right, they look like they've fully
All right.
flipped.
Miko coming up in about 10 seconds.
All right, let's see how they do with the stage separation. Looking good so far.
See the engines throttling down.
Oh, they're throttling down. Let's see.
Booster engine cut off.
Okay, booster engine cut off. It's working. Okay. Stage separation.
ignition.
Ship engines apparently are going. They got one engine
Stage
out on the
separation.
booster. That's okay, though.
Boost back burn startup.
That's just one engine. They're fine.
All right, successful hot staging
They've
maneuver.
done 2
so
engines
we've
out
got
before.
12 of the 13 engines lit back up on boosters, so it's doing its boost back. Real excitingly,
Ship
though,
chamber
we've got
pressure's
6
nominal.
out of 6 Raptors lit on ship there, so it's
Oh,
now
I
going to
don't like
continue
that.
to make its
There's a
ascent
little bit of a
into
flame
outer
thing
space.
coming from the ship.
Meanwhile, this
Hopefully
boost
that's
back
just a vent.
is happening.
Hopefully that's
We're
just a
using
vent.
those 13 engines, so everything, well, 12 out of the 13, and then we go down to 3, and then we're going to shut down for the end of boost back. That's sending Super
I don't
Heavy
know.
back
Ship
towards its
avionics,
planned
power
splashdown
explanation
zone in the Gulf.
I don't know about the
Right
ship.
after
It's
we
looking a
finish
little
this
weird.
boost back burn, we're also going to separate the hot stage. This will be the final time
Boost back
that
burn
we're
shut
doing
down.
this. Is all right. There's the
Yeah.
end of the boost back burn.
Okay, booster finished up its
Should
burn.
be seeing the hot stage.
Hot staging ring adapter is separated. So the booster's looking good.
So the hot stage separates. It's going to make its way down, also splash down in the Gulf. In the meantime, though,
ship's
these
looking-
6
I don't
ship
know, there's
Raptors
a
are going to
weird
continue
blue
firing for about
flame-looking thing.
5
I'm not
more
sure
minutes.
about that, but hopefully that's just a vent going.
Next up for the booster,
there's nothing
though,
weird
is
going
going
on
to
with
be its landing burn. There's a cool tracking shot. We dumped some of the prop out on our way back in. All right, so for booster, this is one of the main things we're
Booster's
trying
looking
to
good.
get is going to be this landing burn. Oh, that's so you can see the hot stage kind of
Using its
making its
vents to
way
move
towards
away
the
from the
very
hot staging
left
ring.
side. So that's the bottom of the booster. It's about to pass right in front of where you can see some of that prop dump
The
happening.
booster should land in just like a minute or 2.
They look like they're close
Okay.
together, but
They're
there's a
off
good
about
amount of
a minute,
distance between
really.
them.
Everything
And the
goes
hot
fast.
stage will go down and
Alright, Roy,
splash
still
down in
there?
the Gulf while the booster comes back for its landing burn.
All right. Booster's going to be landing here in a second.
Starship is on nominal trajectory.
All right. Looking good on our trajectory, looking good on everything. Jake and Amanda, you guys with me down there?
Yeah, definitely. The crowd is
Okay, I think that
gathering
is just
over
a
here in
vent,
the
'cause
office.
I
You can
see, like,
definitely feel
what
the
looks like a
energy in
vent.
here. Great to see that
On the
booster is
ship.
making its way down to the splashdown zone in the Gulf.
Yeah, the shaking down here was absolutely nuts. The windows are still there, still intact.
The booster
So
is
that was
rapidly
pretty
moving away
awesome.
from the hot staging ring. That's
But yeah,
good.
booster's coming down. We're at about 30
Booster,
kilometers,
PSO
about
shift.
All
The
right,
ship is
yeah,
still
and
looking
as we
good.
approach that landing, just like Tower
I'm
Cactus,
not sure
we
what that
will
blue
be
flame
doing
thing
a
was. I'm
13-engine
hoping that's
landing
just a
burn to
vent.
slow down. This time it will be in a V3
The booster's
configuration.
looking good. Should realize engines here in a
And as
second.
we're starting to get into the denser part of the atmosphere, the booster is using 4 hypersonic grid fins to guide itself through
All right.
atmospheric entry towards its landing
Seeing
site.
that blue glow.
And we're just
Should-
about
not
20
blue, red
seconds
glow.
away
I guess I must have forgotten
from
my
landing
colors or
burn
something.
start, where we'll first ignite the center 13 engines,
Engines should
then
start
bring
any
that
second
down to
now.
5
Come
to
on.
slow down the booster for landing.
Oh,
and finally, that will
worked.
come down to 3, and we'll cut all of them off while
I
we're
think.
still about 200 meters in the air.
Yep.
So booster is going to see a bit of a...
All engines lit.
Booster landing, we'll start it.
Down to 5. Ooh, that's a little weird. But yeah, it worked, I guess. Down to 5 engines now. Now down to 3. They're gonna go down to 2.
Booster landing, burn shut down.
Okay, all engines out. On the booster.
And there we heard it. Booster landing burn shut down. We saw a 13 to 5 to 3 V3 demonstration.
And the booster blew up.
And into the water we go.
Let's go.
Wow, that was absolutely awesome. If you can even hear us right
that's pretty
now,
cool.
congrats
The
to the whole
booster just
SpaceX
literally
team.
just blew up.
So far, so good for today. That was incredible.
All right, great
Yeah,
stuff, guys.
That's okay, though.
I'm jealous of the
It's
crowd. All
supposed
right,
to do
back
that.
to ship. Ship's still
That's
making its
actually
way.
good,
We've
'cause that means
got
they don't
a
have to
little
clean up
under 2
the
minutes
booster out of the
left
ocean, like
in this
fish it out
ascent
of the
burn, so
ocean.
we've got
Oh,
all
no,
6
no,
Raptor
I
engines
don't
still
know. This looks a
firing.
little weird. I'm hoping that's just a reflection
So
of
the
the
next
sunlight.
major milestone we're going to be
on the
looking
ship.
for is SECO. That's our second stage engine cutoff. That's
I can
should
never
be
know if these
coming
Block 2 ships,
right
the Block
at
2
about
ships look a
8
little
minutes and
weird.
58 seconds into flight. So we've got about 1:20 still to go. Really cool to see Booster go through that landing burn. That was one of our really key demonstrations we wanted to try and do today. Is that's mimicking what we're
Ship's
going to
looking
be
good.
hopefully doing.
Hopefully it
We
keeps
just got
up
our
this
sonic boom.
pace.
Sounds like from the booster coming back.
Camera went a little weird.
All right, less than a minute to go.
Ship's
So we
still
are going to
going.
see the 3 RVACs, the
Ship
vacuum
38.
optimized engines, shut down first, and then we'll shut down those
It's
3
the
center engines.
38th
So we should be
ship.
a little under a minute
So far, it's doing pretty
until
good.
SECO. Just a reminder, this is putting
almost
us
at
into a
SECO.
suborbital trajectory.
This is
So
where
we're
they've had issues
intentionally
in the
just
past.
going
so.
slow enough that we're not going to achieve full
Will Ship
orbit.
38
This
live
puts
up to
us
Ship
on a
37's
course where
reputation?
those engines shut
We'll
off,
see over the
and
next
no matter
couple
what,
minutes.
we're coming back.
Starship is in
landing
terminal
zone.
guidance.
In the Indian
I
Ocean.
mean,
All
it's
right,
looking
terminal
good.
guidance. So we should start
All
seeing the
6 engines
shutdowns
still
come up
lit.
in just a couple seconds. Less than 30 seconds to go.
Last
in the
couple
ship
seconds before shutdown. Should see the outer 6 engines shut off, right now. Yep, there they go. The outer engines are shutting down
Our
right
vacs
now.
have shut off.
Outer engines have shut down.
3 more to go.
No, that's good. That means it's normal. And then the
Ship
inner
entry
engine
cut
shut
off.
down. That's good. And it shut down all of its engines successfully. That's good.
All right. All ship Raptors have shut
Nominal
down.
orbit insertion.
You just heard nominal orbital insertion, so we are on the path that we wanted to be. So we've got a ship back in space, a whole lot planned for it, lots more still to come. Great seeing Super Heavy make its way to the
Wow.
water,
Look at
but I'm excited to
beautiful
see what
view
ship
of
can
the
do in
launch
space. How's
They're
everybody doing
showing
down
on
there?
the- Going over Florida right now. Yeah, it looks like they lost a few tiles on the way up.
Yeah, if you could hear the crowd behind us this whole time, people are definitely
Yeah, I think
happy
they
with how
lost-
the day's been panning out so far. Definitely
I think they lost
exciting
just
to
a
see
few
Starship safely in
heat
space.
shield tiles
and
on the
super
flap.
pumped to see all the team's hard work in action here
That's
today.
okay, because those are just testing.
Yeah, and we
They're not
guaranteed it
actually
at the start of the show,
vital
but
to
it has been
anything.
an awesome day so far. It's crazy. All this has happened in just 10 minutes. All the
Ooh,
objectives
something
were met on
just
the booster,
kind of-
including that
Oh, that was
V3 style
tiny.
landing burn. So now all eyes are on the ship as we get ready for our in-space objectives. But we've got a few minutes until that next milestone, so sit tight, enjoy the views, enjoy the space jams. We'll be back at T plus 16 minutes for payload deploy.
Yeah, it looks a little weird because they're venting out all the remaining fuel, preparing for the space stuff they're gonna do. That basically means that the vehicle's going to be safe for all the space stuff they do. Looking cool. Oh, sunset. Look, Roy. We got the sunset going on right now. And it looks so cool. It's literally going through what we see in a sunset in only like a minute. It's turning purple now. And it's going to fade to black. That's insane. Man, I wish I was in Florida right now. This would have been such a good view.
Now it's just black.
Yeah, now it's going through space, which is cool. Yeah, now it's pretty much fading to black at this point. Wow. That's beautiful. Still with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's just darkness. But soon they're going to deploy the satellites. And that should be cool. And now it's really dark in my room, so I'm going to turn on the light.
Yeah, because it's getting dark in the real time.
Yeah, I literally had no lights on in my room. So when it faded to darkness, it was so dark in my room. I just realized my microphone, like, turned around. That was really weird. Hopefully they still heard me.
I'm gonna send
Okay. They just have music. They have like elevator music going in the background. Okay. Someone joined. Probably. Ooh, they got a cool view going. It just passed over the Caribbean islands. Now it's over South America. You see the little globe thing that they're showing? Yeah. Can you tell everybody in the group chat to say something in the live chat? Well, just like say it into the group chat. coming up on the payload deploy.
All right, welcome back, everybody. If you're just now joining us, where the heck were you? But we are getting ready for payload deploy. That's going to start once we get the payload door open. That should be happening, or at least starting within the next minute or so. It's been a really cool flight so
They got
far.
the satellites ready to
Quick look
deploy.
inside the payload. We've got 8
just
Starlink
have to open up the
simulators
door,
getting ready to make their
and then
way
they can
into outer space.
Throw the satellites
but
out.
Great flight so far. Booster
Oh my
able
God,
to make it all the
7
way to
people
its
watching.
splashdown and landing burn experiment. So that was really exciting to
just
see. We
randomly
got
became-
ship on orbit,
this thing randomly
nominal
just got so
orbital
popular.
insertion, so right on the money
It
with
was
this
random.
trajectory. Now we're ready to
randomly
start
jumped to 7.
tackling a couple of in-space
any of
objectives.
you
So
7 people that are
next
watching
up,
this,
we are
leave a
currently
like,
venting
and if
down
you want,
the,
you can
the
chat.
nose cone, essentially the
I would
payload
recommend
area
you
of
chat,
Starship as we get
so I
ready
know who you
to
are,
open up this
but,
payload door. We were able to do this successfully for the very first
if you don't want to,
time
that's fine.
on our last flight, on Flight 10. Ooh,
Oh, they're opening the
Hal got ahead of me.
the
Looks
door.
like he's opening up the payload door already.
See how there's that little strip of light? I'll get my mouse out. Right here. That's the door opening. You can see it here as well. The door
All
is
right, looks
opening.
like we got the door open.
Right here. They finished opening the door. Wait, it looks
All
like
right,
they
so
have
payload door is
something on
open.
the...
Next up, gonna be to start
Wait,
deploying these Starlink
are they actually gonna have a
simulators.
camera on the dumb links? If they actually have a camera, that'd be insane.
They are roughly the same size as the V3 Starlink.
Huh?
No, stream is back to 3.
Oh. That was weird. Let me see. When is the payload deploy starting? 18 minutes, 28 seconds. Alright. I'll get back to watching it.
Have a more powerful Pez.
They got 2 views
It's
up.
gonna deploy these at a little bit faster
I
speed.
hope that is a camera.
But looking to see our next demonstration of this, hopefully in the next couple of seconds, we should start seeing them move out the door. I mean, that view on your left, so you're basically, that would be if you were sitting at the very top of the nose cone looking down. So there's kind of a short stack. There's 4 on either side, so 8 total. When we start flying Starlinks, for their actual deploy missions, we're going to be carrying stacks of about 60. So much larger stack once we start flying these operationally, but still doing a little bit of a short just for this payload deployed today.
Looks like we got a little bit of movement there, Dan.
Coax it out. Get
There
it moving,
goes.
Jake.
There we go. All right, first one going out.
Look it like it went out straight. That's good.
All right, first one's deployed. Getting ready for the second one here. We do a little reset back to the center position.
Yeah, it takes about a minute for each one.
See how they're deploying the satellites? Yeah, that's pretty cool. They're actually coming out straight now, which is a lot better than last time.
Real smooth
This
too.
time
They
they're coming
made a
out and
couple
like
of
hitting the
tweaks to
door.
those rails.
So I
If
think
you
they fixed whatever
watched
that
the
issue
last
was.
ones, it had a couple of bumps on the way out, but
They're
moving
coming
out
out pretty
super clean
straight.
this time.
Yeah, and as noted earlier in the show,
Okay.
but definitely worth repeating,
Next
Starship
batch
will
appears to
deploy
be getting
Starlink's
ready.
more advanced V3 satellites, adding 60 terabits per second of capacity to the network per launch. So that's 20 times more than each Falcon 9 launch
Hopefully
does
they have a
today.
camera.
Just incredible.
Yeah, and
Okay, we
anybody
should see
that's been following Starship, you know, Starlink's kind of the MVP for
Couple of
these
the
flight
satellites
tests, where
move up
it's not only giving us the views
in a
we're
few
seeing right
seconds.
now, but also just
Yes.
real-time data through every phase of flight. So
All right.
we've
Now
got a
we'll
couple
start
dozen
checking out the
cameras on
next set of
Starship. We've
satellites.
also got a bunch of cameras
There's pew,
spread
pew.
across the
It's
globe,
like,
including out in the Indian Ocean where we've got our fun buoys
burst
floating.
rifle.
There goes
So-
another one.
The magazine of 8. I'm going to shoot in 2 round bursts. There's 1, 2.
And I mean, we're using Starlink to bring all of this
Yeah,
together.
geez,
Our,
load the next
our
two.
drone shots you
Two.
see here
Load the next two.
from our great team down here at
It's like a weird-
Starbase, all connected. So
I don't even
Starlink
know how to
not
describe
only
it.
giving us cool views off the planet, but also on the planet, help bring everybody
I
along for
forgot
all
to
these Starship flights.
Use my little Pez dispenser. I want to get both one.
I think that's number 4.
Four.
Somebody check my math.
4 of them, not my 4. 4 of them have been deployed now. So now there's another 4 because there's 8. 8 minus 4, yeah, I know basic math. 8 minus 4 is...
Yeah, we've got 4 Starlink
Uh,
terminals on the outside
4.
of Starship. He uses that to talk to the constellation. And
Alright.
through that, we actually
We're
get about
getting ready for the next
120
little
megabits
batch.
of bandwidth for our downlink. That's our real-time HD video, all of our telemetry. So it's not just kind of giving us these cool views inside, but it's giving all that engineering data in real time, including re-entry, when normally a plasma layer builds up and blocks you out. Starlink, powerful enough of a frequency that we're able to kind of punch through that and still get that live view.
Yo, Roy. We got LaQuisha in the chat. Yeah. Yeah. Nope, they're doing another one.
All right, next one out
I
the
don't think
door.
you've seen it yet, but it will happen soon enough on your camera.
There we go.
Saw it off of the outside view. Look at this. Should come up like right now. There's a little outside view and a little shadow from the cockpit.
All right, yeah, Starlink is the world's largest satellite constellation operating in low Earth orbit to deliver high-speed,
Okay.
low-latency broadband internet. This provides internet
So now
access to
we should
people
have
around the world,
another one.
many of who have never had connectivity
Yes.
before.
Another one out. Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. Are they gonna get copyrighted for just saying that? So, you know how copyright rules on YouTube are.
Right.
Really
Today,
annoying.
Starlink serves more than 150
I got two
countries,
more. Hopefully
territories,
one
and
of these
other
has
markets
camera.
with over 7 million active customers and counting. To meet the global growing demand for high-speed internet, SpaceX expanded its factory over in Bastrop, Texas, which is just outside of Austin, and also introduced Starlink Mini, as well as an upgraded version of the Starlink Standard Kit.
Yeah, and one thing to note about the satellite deploy is that they will be following the same suborbital trajectory of the ship. So these dummy sats will not be going in orbit. We do expect them to burn up on re-entry.
All right, couple more to go. I promise one of these days we'll deploy in daylight. But we're basically trading deploy in the dark so we get those re-entry views for the daytime.
Oh, there it goes. I can see it. I literally saw it exit. Alright. Keep it rolling.
All right, I think we got one more to go.
His last one, his last satellite. Do it. There it goes. And
All right, now with payload deploy complete, Starship will now close its payload door and continue to coast around Earth to the Indian Ocean. We still have a ton of major events to come today, including
All
Raptor
right.
Relight at about T plus 37 minutes. That will be followed by atmospheric reentry and splashdown. So with that, we're going to go on another quick coast.
Yeah, if you can hear us,
But I'm gonna take a quick break before they light up the engine. So I'll be back real quick.
All right, with that payload door closed, we're gonna sit tight, enjoy the views, and enjoy the space jams. Again, we'll be back in just a few minutes for Raptor relight, and then head back for reentry.
Alright, I'm back. I'm gonna look at the timeline here for a second. So it's at T plus 37 minutes they relight an engine. So that's good. The really exciting thing here is gonna be the re-entry. Because last time re-entry was a little weird. But in this one, hopefully they can get it going a lot better. Currently, they're flying over the middle of the Atlantic Ocean right now. And guess what island they fly over? Madagascar. The Starship likes to move it. Apparently there's 4 people watching. Yeah, anybody watching, please leave a like. 5 people watching. Yeah, anybody watching, please leave a like. No. Like, okay, that's good. Okay. Yeah, currently 29 minutes in, so about 7 minutes we'll see the engine relight. There's 6 people in, apparently. Now, 6 people. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody in the live, like the video, I guess. Or like the live stream. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. I honestly don't know how I've been able to live stream this long. I've been live streaming for an hour now. Yeah. Answering Brandon's question, pretty soon this will quite literally be fired. They're literally going to be going through re-entry, and this thing will be covered in plasma. So, yeah, he said, like, literally here in, literally here in, like, maybe 15 minutes at most, this thing's gonna, it's gonna go through re-entry, and it's gonna be on fire for quite a while. In fact, my new phone case is literally, heat activated. So it turns, like, red. Yeah, yeah, classic. Yeah, they still got that background music playing. The, like, SpaceX background music. People are saying it's tumbling, but it's not. It's keeping trajectory.
All right, welcome back, everyone. If you're just joining us, you did miss some exciting stuff because Starship successfully deployed its second ever payload, 8 Starlink simulator satellites. And now we're expecting the relight of a single sea-level Raptor engine in space coming up here just after T plus 37 minutes. So about a minute left to go.
Count 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep,
5.
just a little while. I think we're tracking
4,
to
so
37 in around
20.
49 seconds
he said
or so.
lizard 22
so we should be
times.
just about a minute and a half. We're again, as Amanda just said, we're going to
That's
relight
just a
one of
Blizzard
those
22
center
times.
engines.
That's kind of crazy.
This will be the third time that we've tried this. We did it successfully back on Flight 10, and then we did it for the very first time back on Flight 6. This is not a deorbit burn.
So they should relight
this
the engine
is demonstrating
soon.
essentially
Like
all
a
of the
minute.
systems you would
So in a
need
minute,
to
you'll
do
see
a
the engine
deorbit
just
burn.
randomly
So
light up
that's
for a
obviously
second.
your
That's just
Raptor
so they
engine,
can get a
and
little
then
bit
also
further on
your
the
header
path and make
tanks,
sure
your
they don't
smaller
collide
tanks
with
in the nose cone,
the
where we have liquid oxygen, liquid methane, in a smaller, more easily
satellites.
pressurized container, which we can use for on-orbit burns. And we're also going to tap into those when we do our landing burn. So this will be a critical capability. Once we go to full orbital missions, you'll have to do a deorbit burn to break out of orbit, send it back down to Earth. But in this instance, we're already on our way back down towards Earth.
All right,
so
relight
this is
should
just
happen
going to
any second
demonstrate the
now.
capability of turning
Let's
one
see
of these
this engine
engines on.
relight.
We should be coming up in just about 20 seconds or so, looking for one of those Raptor engines to turn back on. They've been off since we completed that successful ascent burn almost 30 minutes ago. Here we go.
Oh, Raptor ignition. And shut down.
They did it.
All right, there was that Raptor relight. Looks like engine 3, full duration. As Dan mentioned, that's a third attempt, and we just did it 3 times in a row. So congrats to the team, the ship
Nominal
team,
second
Raptor
orbital
team. And then
All right, they
there we
relit the
nominal
engine.
second orbital
cool.
insertion.
Now in like
All right, so congrats
a
everyone
few
on the
minutes, they're going to
milestone.
be re-entering the
That was
atmosphere,
awesome
and
to
it's going
see.
to be
We're 3
fire.
for 3. We're going to take another break, and we'll be back for re-entry at about T plus 45 minutes. We'll see you soon.
Starship is slewing for entry.
That looked a little weird. There was a weird like fire thing that happened, but that's okay.
Very sad.
Why?
I don't know.
I scrolled down and I saw you say, Joaquin, are you a stinky? And then kind of just casually pulling out another 22 lizards. Hello? Are you on the live right now? Yeah, pretty cool. Looks like it's succeeding. Kind of. We'll see. Okay. Alright. Alright, I'm back. Kenneth called me for some reason. I don't know why. He was watching the live though. They got some nice music going. But you probably can't hear it because they're on your phone.
Yeah.
They got some good music. Looks like they're starting to re-enter. You can see how there's almost like a fire-looking thing coming from the back of it.
Yeah.
That's the re-entry. So.
Starship is approaching entry interface.
Is there a way you can make like custom chat notes? Like custom chat emojis?
I think so.
You should do one of the performance labs.
I probably should. "42 minutes in, and yeah, you can really see it starting to glow there. Yeah, there's like a fire looking thing on it. I have 18 subscribers. Cool. There's 9 people in chat apparently.
For me, it says 11.
Oh jeez. Alright, yeah, it looks like, I don't know, it's a little weird. It looks like there's only a fire in the app. Yo, what is Kenneth yapping about in chat? Yeah. I just dropped a random 11 in the group chat. See why not? That's looking pretty cool. They're right about now. They're entering the actual atmosphere. They're passing the Kármán line. So that fire's really gonna pick up here in a few seconds, or a few minutes. Sorry.
Ship is starting entry. Good attitude.
I need money for the game at launch. Can't have.
All right, welcome back, everyone. The ship is currently re-entering Earth's atmosphere.
As
As a reminder, we don't plan to recover the spacecraft today, but rapid and reliable reusability is the ultimate goal.
Yeah, the light show has already begun. You can see plasma starting to build on the windward side of the rocket there. And, re-entry is a critical phase of flight, and we need information on how the ship systems perform. Re-entry is also extremely demanding portion of flight because we need the ship to scrub off all of the energy we used to launch the rocket. So remember the 33 engines plus the 6 engines on ship that we used to get up into space, we now are using aero braking essentially to scrub off all that energy. And of course, Starlink is a big part of this, giving us the views we have right now, and also letting us gather as much data as possible, which again is really the main reason why we do these flights.
The flap is
and the
looking
view
nice
we have
on
right
this
now is
flight.
actually a really good example. As we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, we have some tiles on the leeward side of the flaps here, and we have some different mechanisms, some stud out, basically to see if these tiles will hang on. And we can see already here, it looks like we kept most of them, but I think I see a couple there that are no longer there. So the thermal team is definitely going to be digging into that and taking that data to help us iterate on V3. So yeah, Starlink provides us with one more path to collect data and help us rapidly iterate Starship's design.
And if the ship does manage to make it all the way to re-entry, we'll collect valuable
it's
data
making it
on the
through
spacecraft
re-entry.
flying through the Earth's atmosphere at hypersonic speeds, or more than 5 times the speed of sound. Re-entry is typically a portion of flight where we don't have communications with spacecraft because it's re-entering at or around orbital velocity, which is roughly 8 kilometers per second or 5 miles per second. At those insanely high speeds, the spacecraft moving through the atmosphere creates a plasma field around the vehicle.
Yeah, and that blanket of plasma distorts communication frequencies, so it's not uncommon to experience brief blackouts in communication.
Looking good.
All right, so big picture here, Starship is designed to land on Mars where there are no runways or other humans to help out. So that means we need to do a propulsive landing instead of a more traditional means like parachutes, which is what our Dragon spacecraft uses, or a runway like the Space Shuttle. Propulsive landing enables more rapid reusability.
Now, as the ship makes its way back to Earth, we should start hearing some callouts when we hear entry max heating and entry max Q. That means the ship has made it through the maximum heating and aerodynamic loads it will experience as it returns. So if it makes it through all of those, that's a pretty good sign that we're doing well.
Okay.
Yeah, and we heard flaps have control of the vehicle now. Okay, there's a great shot there. You're starting to see the plasma build up. So we will hear a call out when the ship is transonic and then subsonic. Transonic refers to the period of flight where the velocities of airflows surrounding and flowing past the vehicle are concurrently below, at, and above the speed of sound, somewhere in the range of Mach 0.8 to 1.2. All right, a lot of numbers coming up here, but for reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but most fly around Mach 0.74 to Mach 0.85, which is 480 to 575 miles per hour, or 770 to 930 kilometers per hour. Right now, we're going a little over 26,000 kilometers per hour. So compare that to the airplane at 930. It's like pretty crazy how fast we're going here. All right, and after we hear the call out that Starship is transonic, we should hear the call out that Starship is subsonic. Subsonic, of course, refers to the speed that is much less than the speed of sound. So at that point, the ship's velocity will be starting to slow down, and we'll be looking a little bit more like some of our suborbital flights from
only like 15
at this
more
point,
minutes
almost 5
and
years
then
ago.
it lands, and that's it.
Yeah, so re-entry so far is looking pretty good. You can see that plasma field. Also, again, with those missing tile experiments, especially, we're putting the ship through a lot today, but things are looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, we're looking good. I do want to remind people that we are pushing ship to the limits. We've done a lot of these missing tile tests. We did it back on Flight 10. Every time we do it, we throw something new and the ship makes it through. This time, we're really pushing it. We've removed these tiles in some of the spots that see the highest level of heating. And we remove tiles that have zero backup protection underneath. So there's essentially just bare steel.
Wait, no, what about
It's one of the heat of re-entry.
things?
And so do not be surprised if this is not a very smooth flight on the way down. But again, this is intentional. We are trying to find what are the limits for ship. How resilient are we to these
Royal Guard
different issues that could pop up? If we lose a tile anywhere in the vehicle, we want to know what that ultimate impact is going to be. So we've got a couple missing. We had a bunch pulled over the primary fuel, the LOX tanks, everything. This one, we've got a tile missing right on top. So that's going to see some of the highest temperatures during this re-entry, and there's just bare steel right underneath it. So we're going to see if Starship's robust enough to pull through that. Also have some tiles missing around the aft flaps, specifically on the leading edge. So again, we're getting a really good look right at the leading edge. That's getting really intense heating. So again, gonna see if it can make it through. See if all the flaps hold on, see if Starship holds together. But definitely could be a bumpy ride, but this is why we're flying. This is why we're flying in this part of the world. This is why we're putting Starship through these flight tests to really understand what its limits are. So we can then move on to the next thing, which is gonna be bringing ships back to the launch site for a catch. But for now, still on the suborbital. The light show continuing.
Camera shut down.
Keep following in. I think we got about 15 minutes until splashdown.
Yeah, Dan, it looks, you can see our speed our speed indicator in the bottom left there. It looks like we're starting to scrub off velocity a little bit quicker.
Ship is entering the peak heating phase of flight.
Yeah, guys, this thing might explode.
Looks like we can see some clouds down there as we pass through 70 kilometers altitude.
Yeah, the
Not
sun's
right now,
starting
but,
to come up again.
That looks a little weird.
Ooh, there we go.
Wait, look at that. Yeah, look at that. That's a really interesting view.
Skirt is intact so far this time. If you watched Flight 10, you saw we entered with a little bit missing. That was
look,
ultimately
clouds.
traced to a little bit of buildup. We dumped prop on the way. We had a little bit of solid propellant buildup, and then
guys, we got
either
static
static discharge or the plasma ignited.
Daylight.
It took out a tiny bit of that skirt, some of the aft flaps, but Starship again.
Yeah, it is.
Was able to fight through it, make it all the way to
land
that landing berth.
Maybe, or it'll explode. One or the other.
We addressed that. Changed
There's no
some
in
of our
between.
prop
One or the other. It
dump
explodes
though,
or it
so
lands. Or it lands.
should not be seeing that this time around.
Which it did last time. It landed, but then it exploded. So it.
And as a reminder, in addition to these missing tile tests, we're doing kind of a unique flight on the way in. It's going to do what we call a banking maneuver. So while we're still going supersonic and even hypersonic, we're doing kind of a banking turn. And then we'll do a pretty aggressive turn right as we get into the subsonic and start doing our belly flop. And that's designed to essentially be the approach that we would do
I wouldn't be surprised.
on a return to launch site and a tower catch. So
don't
be surprised if we see the ship start to turn.
You should have looked at the
and make a few maneuvers as it makes its way down
seconds
the
ago.
Indian. And
it was,
fun fact, even though we're doing all this turning, we're essentially targeting the exact same spot in the Indian Ocean we went to last time.
Oh yeah, this is 11. 12 is coming up very soon. Well, probably not very soon. It might be a couple months, so we get a couple more months of 11. No.
All right, just about 12 minutes to go. Still looking good.
Did it make it to Mars? No, not yet.
That gives a pretty good view of those aft flaps where, again, on the leading edge, I think it might be on the one on the other side, we had some tiles removed with no backups behind it. So, again, we're really trying to stress some of the most sensitive areas around Starship, where basically if you lose a tile, it's the worst possible spot. And if we're able to make it through this, then that tells us quite a bit about just how resilient this vehicle is.
Yeah, and that shot we just had earlier was looking at what we call the business end of Starship with all the Raptor engines. And those are the engines that we're going to be expecting to light for that flip and landing burn, hopefully in about 10 minutes once we get through reentry. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, looking at E3, that's the one we did the relight on. So it's 2 for 2 so far. We'll see if it can go 3 for 3.
Yeah.
This thing is making it. Kind of. Yeah, it's making it. Let's just hope it doesn't explode. That'd be really good. Yeah. We're still not past it possibly exploding, so we'll have to see with that.
All right, we can see that speed just continue to bleed off under 20,000 kilometers an hour. Ship's still holding together.
Oh, no, no, no. Kenneth just said something in the chat again.
Yeah, and if you look in the bottom right, looks like we've made it all the way to the Indian Ocean. We're coming up kind of near Australia, the west side of Australia there. So pretty crazy. We're only 56 minutes in, and we've made it all the way, you know, halfway around the world.
It's making it, though. Yeah, it's making it so far.
It's actually a good demonstration of a future capability we hope to have on Starship, where we will do point-to-point transport on Earth. So essentially travel anywhere in the world in about an hour or so, which is, you know, going to be pretty crazy. Imagine going from New York to Sydney in 1 hour instead of the, you know, 20 hours it takes currently.
Oh, it's rolling on its side.
And a reminder, so this camera is, oh, we see some of the heat rate picking up a little bit. And this camera is embedded right in the end of one of those forward flaps, so you see it moving around. That's the flap adjusting to maintain control.
It's banking very hard right now.
It's like we're getting into our bank maneuver. Now power sliding through the atmosphere.
External temperatures are coming down. Vehicle is now at maximum dynamic pressure.
All right, that was basically our reverse
max
Q.
There's
So
like a tornado behind it.
most aerodynamic stress that it's going to see during re-entry, we just passed through it. So we're past
Ken just
that.
said
We're past
chicken
peak
jockey,
heating.
raptor jockey. That's crazy.
Ship still holding together. So we're currently in this
Okay, it
bank
looks like it's
maneuver. We're going to
doing
see it
pretty
kind of
good
roll
here.
over
Only
and
a
do
few
a
minutes and it'll be
pretty significant shift as we
hopefully
get down closer to the subsonic speeds.
living.
Yeah, and that bank maneuver that Dan's mentioning is all in part of us to learn about the guidance, navigation, and control for return to launch site missions.
The decal on it is looking a
in the
little
near
burnt.
future, we're hoping to return the ship back to the same pad we just took off on 59 minutes ago.
But it's staying
and we've got to
alive.
do some of these pretty dynamic bankings to make that trajectory work
Staying
out.
alive. Staying alive. I'm staying alive.
All right, the light show kind of calming down as we're starting to move into the lower parts of the atmosphere. We should hit transonic, so hitting that transition between moving faster than the speed of sound and below the speed of sound in just about 3.5 minutes. Our landing burn should happen right around an hour and 6 minutes after launch, so we should be just about 6 minutes away from that. You can see lots of daylight. Everybody cross your fingers, see if our range team is able to get out there and provide any surprise views as Starship makes its way down. Oh, it's like they heard me.
Wow, they got a nice view of the ocean.
Ready and waiting, let's go.
Dan, you just spoke that view into existence there.
Yeah, they got a cool ocean view.
And again, all brought to us by Starlink.
Maneuver has started.
All right, there we go. So we're now starting into our really heavy bank maneuver. Again, this does almost like a half circle loop.
I've been live for an hour and a half
to our actual
now.
trajectory. We're heading to the same exact splashdown point, but we're kind of doing a more roundabout way to get there, where it's this kind of
Yeah, they got a
big
cool
long
drone
half
view,
moon
though, the
loop,
ocean
and then a
over there.
really aggressive and a twist right at the very end, and that would line us up with the launch tower. Starship, on a return to launch site, would fly over the tower, do a quick landing burn flip, and then come down for catching the arms.
Yo guys, I think the Starship might be functioning. It looks like it's not getting burnt anymore.
How about that S38 decal there, staying strong on that view we just had?
Not burning anymore. That's wonderful.
Good to see the
It might
numbers
actually
back
land.
on.
Yeah.
Let's hope it lands, but is not orange. Because last time it
All right, should be
landed and
hitting
it was
transonic
orange.
in about 2.5 minutes. Landing flip coming up in about 4. Pretty clouds there in the Indian Ocean today. Again, yeah, we changed our launch times. We launch in the evening now, so we get these daytime views down in the Indian Ocean. One of the things we're
By the
really
looks
looking
of
for,
things,
the reason
no
we have the
burn
drone,
through
other than, yeah, that
on
looks
any
really
of the
cool,
flaps. That's good.
is we're able to kind of see
I think the closest
the
they have
ship.
left to
We can
no
only see
burn
so much
through
from these
was,
cameras. You can't see
Flight
like
6.
the vast majority of the
Now
heat
Flight
shield.
11.
So we throw these buoys out there. We've got
they got
there's
You spoke it again, Dan. There it is.
But you can literally see this thing
They're playing with me
skydiving
in
into
the
the
control
clouds.
room. All right. But we have,
Pretty soon
we
you'll
have
actually
these
see
buoys
it
out there. We
going
have these
through the
drones that we're
clouds.
trying to see externally
like 4
how the
minutes.
heat shield held up.
It's coming down
Everybody
fast. When does it
saw
land?
from
Let me
Flight
see.
10 it
Let
had
me pull up my
a little bit of a
little
paint job,
timeline.
a little bit of a reddish hue. That was from those
Yeah,
metallic
it-
tiles that we had tested.
1
kind
hour,
of
5
oxidizing
minutes, and
really
58
rapidly in that
seconds, this
plasma,
thing
and then spreading those
will
little oxide particles
land.
all over the heat shield. No metal tiles on this flight, so not expecting to see that.
Dynamic
and
pressure
then-
is coming down.
This thing is turning.
Hope nobody
Quite
gets
a bit.
seasick. All right, coming up on transonic shortly. It's about 2.5 minutes of landing burn.
Yeah, and once we get to around the 15-kilometer altitude mark, that's where we have a lot of flight history.
Starship
from
is
those suborbital
transonic,
flights.
starting the belly flop phase of flight.
Yep, that belly flop phase that we perfected.
Yo,
in the
Starship is
suborbital
gonna belly
campaigns,
flop, guys.
We're entering that now.
No, that's good. That's good. It's transonic. That means it's going slower than the speed of sound. Here in about 1.5 minutes, we will see.
Right, starting to get those Raptors ready. Should be 2 minutes
thing
away
starting.
from
Ooh, some stuff is starting to
landing
peel.
burn. Again, we're
You
going
see
to
that?
do a flip. After we ignite those engines, we'll
See
go
those
from
little
3
things
down
flapping
to
in the
2
wind?
for the final phase of the landing burn and look for another soft splashdown. Hopefully by our buoy and drone, which are hanging out, ready and waiting for a
Why
ship.
is the camera's just shaking like zoom, 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 zoom.
Seeing all 3 center engines have entered the chill phase.
All right, this thing's landing in exactly 1 minute, so. Ooh, some stuff started to peel off a bit there.
All right, less than a minute to go.
The ship is making its turn for final approach.
And here's this kind of aggressive final turn that would essentially position it so it's right behind the launch and catch tower.
It's landing. Not right now, but soon.
Flaps holding strong. Landing burn in just under 20 seconds.
Okay, it's gonna start the landing in like 10 seconds.
Ship landing startup.
Starting to land.
There's our landing burn.
Okay. Okay, it's landing.
3 down to 2.
Starship has landed.
It's not orange. And it survived the landing by the looks of things. Maybe. We'll see. Never mind, it didn't.
As
You
we
can see
said,
an
we're not
explosion
planning
here in
on
about 2
recovering the
seconds.
ship
Yep, there
today.
it
Hey,
is.
welcome back to Earth, Starship.
The little,
We
the
are
little,
down
the little
in
tanks
the
flipping in
Indian
the wind is the
Ocean.
best part.
Let him hear it,
The
Starbase.
little, like,
What a
air
day.
tanks, little, like, oxygen tanks, we're just, like, through the air.
Oh.
And that
All
is
right.
it for Block 2 Starship.
Welcome back to Earth Ship.
Now,
what a day.
on to Block
A
3.
whole lot more to go through. As you just saw, everybody here at Starbase pretty hyped. Hey, Tyler, out of Hawthorne, how's everybody holding up?
Thank you, Dan. We had a fantastic time watching. It was another exciting Starship flight test in the books, and we hope that you enjoyed.
Yeah, that was an amazing launch, by the way. That's the most successful launch they've ever had. And it wasn't orange. That's ultra good. It was not orange this time around. Also, this guy that I'm pointing out with my mouse, he looks like his name would be like Mark or something, or Matt. Yo, guys, we got like, I want to call him Matt. His name is Jake, though. But he looks like he'd be named Matt, or Jacob. Not just Jake, but Jacob. Alright, I'm probably going to end the live very soon, because there's not going to be anything really to watch. Alright, I'm going to end the live. Start. I'll just start by putting up the Coltonian flag. It's the Coltonian flag, guys. Put up the Coltonian flag on the live stream. Jeez, I've been streaming for an hour and 52 minutes. Alright. And an hour 53 minutes. And now the stream ends. Goodbye, guys. See you on Starship Flight 12, I guess.